We could use it as a fence board. We could use this board for pretty much anything and everything. And if you had to buy it in the store, good gracious. Good morning, folks, and welcome back to the Stoney Ridge Farm Channel. Today we're going to be working on the sawmill. We've got a wood-mizer LT40 sawmill, and we're going to be running some red oak fence boards, hopefully red oak fence boards today. We may be running some white oak to build some raised beds here in the garden. And today's video is brought to you in part by our friends at Husqvarna. This is called the Husqvarna Power Axe. It's a battery powered, awesome chainsaw. We'll be taking this down to the sawmill because we always need a good chainsaw down at the sawmill. Let's see if I can turn it on, figure out how to turn the thing on. There we go. It's got some power, it's got the juice. And at the end of the video, what we typically do at the end of using the sawmill, we'll take the Husqvarna leaf blaster. This is the world's fastest handheld leaf blower, and we'll blow off all the sawdust on the sawmill. So not only is it brought to you by Husqvarna, it's tools that we're gonna be using today too, guys. So let's go get busy. First thing we gotta do is go move the cows real quick and get them into a paddock that has some shade. Then we'll get on the sawmill. Contact. Yeah, babe. Yeah, something else to fix. Broke that. Good morning, moo cows. Woo! Well, y'all ain't been worth the crap this morning, are you? You don't want to get up? Come on. It seems as though the cows have other plans for this morning. Guys, we have to open up a paddock to the cows where they'll have shade. There's shade in this paddock, but no shade in that paddock later in the afternoon. It's supposed to be 87 degrees. So, we'll open this gate. We're gonna go ahead and go over here, grab the mobile chicken coop and pull it into this paddock where the cows were last night. Come on, kids, fresh grass. The buffet's open. Yes. Come on, girls. Come on. So folks, what you're seeing here, every day, twice a day, I move the cows to a different paddock of grass. They were on about 3 acres over here. They've got about 3 acres over there. There's a shade tree way over on the other side of the pasture. I'm actually not gonna back fence them. I'm gonna leave this wide open so that they can come back in here and graze if they want to, or they can graze in here. So in the evening time, when the sun starts setting low, there'll be a little more shade up here, and there's enough grass in here for them to graze in another 8 to 12 hours. Tonight, I will move them into this section of pasture, and when I move them into that section, that mobile chicken coop can't be there. So we gotta go run over and grab that mobile chicken coop, and we're gonna pull it to a place where it will be nice and safe and the cows can't rub against it and destroy it. And that's it. That's Tammy the donkey. Tammy's the guard donkey and looks after all the young calves right here. And you see the young calves trying to get up under this fence. They're learning the electric fence, and they need to learn to come around and they'll get it eventually, but they figured out that they can go under in low spots. Rollin', rollin', rollin'. Roll that chicken coop, baby. Yeah, there we go. Water. Automatic door. Let the birds come on out. Hey birdies, I got your food right here. All your grub right there. For those of you who are concerned, you know, we lost 26 chickens in like 2 hours to some foxes. A family of foxes raided the chicken coop. When I keep the chickens closer to the cows and the donkey, I don't have this problem. And if I don't park the mobile coop over in the field across from the house, I don't have this problem. So we've got, I think, 9 left. And that'll do for now, but we've got to up our laying hens. These are all laying hens, and this is the pasture sanitation mobile. It goes around and the chickens scratch through the cow manure and help control the flies for the cows. They also will go over to the waterer and eat flies all day long. So that's what these guys are. Pasture sanitation, the byproduct is good green grass and eggs. Let's go get on the mill. So underneath here are extra blades. We'll probably run through 1 or 2 blades today. Very simple. Blades are right here. You see a little rust on there? It's okay. First thing we got to do is get our blade tension right. So this is our blade tensioner. We'll tighten this guy down a little bit, like so. Pull the cover off of our debarker. This little motor, electric motor, runs a carbide tipped blade. Takes the bark off ahead of the saw blade. And this is Big Daddy. This is the one we're going to run first, and this is the second one. They've got a little bit of rot in them. I'm not too convinced that these are going to be good logs. Now, we'll go ahead and we'll get the wood-mizer fired up here. Essential tools you always need to have down here at the sawmill are chainsaw and a cant hook. I'll show you that in a second. Get him started. Fuel pump engaged. This is a cant hook. This is from Log Ox, guys. Log Ox is an all-American made tool. We'll use that for rolling the logs up onto the mill when we have to right here. Everything on this mill is pretty much hydraulically controlled. So the log lift, the log turner, everything is hydraulically controlled. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go down through here and lubricate just a little bit. We've got to put some lube on this rail. So you guys are looking at this log and you might be thinking, gosh, Josh, you seem to be cutting some huge slabs off this log. Let's define what we're looking at here. So the squared off log part here is called a cant, okay? This cant is 16 feet long. This is red oak. What you can't see from afar is what you can see up close here right now. And that is that this log has some rot in it right there. And it goes all the way up through here. So all of this is no good. None of that is good right there. As we look at the log here, and we're gonna grab the chainsaw and we're gonna be lopping this stuff off for firewood pieces. I'll just chuck them off to the side and load them up on the Honda out there. But I want you to see, after I lop these off, that we're trying to get down into the good lumber here. Now, I need some 6x6s and 8x8s, and we may end up milling this into a supportive 8x8 for the Mega Shop project up here. You can also see, I mean, there's rot right here. There's a little bit of bark in there. So let's go ahead and we'll lop off these ends real quick, and I'll show you guys what we're talking about in the rot department. This is the Husqvarna Power Axe I showed you just a little bit earlier. We'll cut these into 16-inch lengths. So you could tell right there that there was some good solid wood and some soft rotten wood right there. Let's set the Power Axe up here. Stay. Let's just bust this out and show you over here. So we got good wood. That's good heartwood, good red heartwood right there. But again, you can see we've got a lot of rot. Chuck that guy over to the side, pull this out here, and we'll go ahead and make a few more cuts, and then we'll show you the cant. This is our log. Clear this off just a little bit, get a good definition of what this log is all about right here. So we're gonna go ahead and pour a little water on here, and you can just see people go for this. This would make an awesome fireplace hearth, okay, or mantelpiece. Wormholes all in there, not good for structural, okay. Rot up next to the bark edge, a little bit of rot right here. That's mold, mildew, fungus right there. But this worminess really looks awesome. Guys, I am inclined to not, this is my drinking water by the way, I'm inclined to not make fence boards out of this. I'm inclined to make a awesome mantelpiece. This is a 16-footer, so I could get potentially 4 or 5 mantelpieces. We talk about live edge. Typically live edge, the bark does not like to hang on or stay on. We've got some rot under the bark, so we really need to get rid of that rot. This is really soft, guys. It's like cork. See how it's rubbing apart right there? So we've got to get into something solid. I'll take another inch cut off of the top of this. We will save that board. We save every board on the farm. And I think we're gonna flip her around and try to make some awesome fireplace hearths. A hearth? Do you call it a hearth or do you call it a mantle? Some people call it a hearth, some people call it a mantle. Around here we call it a hearth. Right on, let's get busy. Let's mill up something beautiful. That's the cool part about a sawmill, guys. You just never know until you open the log up how beautiful it is and what it's gonna produce. Really cool. Not good for fence boards. Awesome for mantelpiece. Guys, you see me running this machine. These are the controls for all the hydraulics for turning the log. This is a control system for running the mill. This is called simple set. This allows me to cut to a certain depth. I am watching so much. There's a ton of stuff going on behind the scenes in your head. So you're watching the simple set right here. We'll go ahead and turn it on. Wood-mizer pops up right here. Then it tells you manual, or it's on manual right now. We'll hit the button, change it over to simple set. So it's set at 1 1/16. That's how thick my fence boards are typically. We'll switch it back to manual. This starts the machine. This turns it off. That's our hour meter right there. This is our debarker, and you saw that getting unwrapped earlier. That goes in debarks. We only use that with logs that have bark on it. Once it's squared off as a cant, then we don't need that. This slides the head, the saw head, back and forth right here. So this goes that way and that way. You can see it moving right now. Okay, that slides the saw head. This is the speed at which you feed, the speed that the saw goes through. This is turning our blade on. This is forward. This is reverse. This is the lube-mizer. So this is lubricant, soapy water. I had to go get another bucket of soapy water. And you can see when I engage it forward, green light comes on, and spray, soapy water sprays out right there. Okay, the whole time I'm actually watching, let's get that cobweb off of there, so I'm watching this meter. If it gets much below about 2,800, we're in trouble, guys, and we need to start thinking about changing a blade. We need to start thinking about changing a blade right now, actually. This will be the last time I run the LT40 extra wide in this spot. All of this lumber that I have out here set out here and was already dead standing. So in other words, it was dead standing trees. I cut the dead standing trees and they started to rot. So that is the word of the day, rot. Here is our fireplace hearth, and here are the boards that we netted off of this log. So this is a true 1x. Okay, so this could be used for a fence board if I wanted to. Let's go ahead and we'll clean this guy off. This is red oak, and red oak is gorgeous, but it's not as tolerant to the elements as white oak. And these are white oak logs over here, but they're all spent. So lessons learned here. You're gonna mill, cut it and mill it ASAP. Still got some worm damage in here. That's okay. This is a gorgeous board right here. We could use this as a cutting board. We could use this for decoration. We could use it as a fence board. We could use this board for pretty much anything and everything. And if you had to buy it in the store, good gracious, what would it cost you? Good grief. Now, this is our fireplace hearth. Let's measure it real quick because I do believe this is a 16-inch log. So let's measure this cant. This is a cant. Okay, it's a cant until you take it off the mill, right? And we have 16 foot 1 inch. Not a lot of room for error or play here, guys. We should have cut it to 16 foot 3 at least. This log has shrunk up. It probably was cut to 16.3 and it shrunk up. So here's what we got. Here's a cheap garbage measuring tape. Nothing more frustrating. Okay, let's go ahead and slide this off. Clean your boards before you put them up, guys. This is going to go in the mega shop to air dry. This again is a 16 footer. Let's clean this all the way off and see what kind of character we have. I cannot pick that up. It's too heavy as a 16 footer to pick it up. Who's got a 16 foot fireplace? Nobody. Your typical fireplace hearth is going to be 4, 5, 6, maybe 8 feet if it's a gigantic fireplace. Maybe 10 if it's in Aspen, Colorado in a fancy ski lodge. This is a southern style fireplace hearth. So let's get some water on this and we'll look at one side and we'll flip it and look at the other side. I wanted to take off all of the rot and leave all of the good. My buddy John just built a house right over the hill here, and this is gonna make a fantastic housewarming gift for John. You don't know it's coming, buddy, but it is. So let's get a look at this. We may just take it over to John's and put it in his garage. Good deal. Let's look at the character we've got here. Again, this is red oak. We've got a few knots, we've got wormholes, we've got beetle holes all the way through. Again, not good for structural, but definitely good for decor. Let's try and flip it over and see what the other side looks like real quick. Oh gosh, that is heavy. Okay, so our size is 5 inches by 8 inches. Oh, that is super, super heavy. May have to call John to come and help me pick it up. Oh, baby. Come on, baby. I don't want to risk damaging it by flipping it over and letting it. There we go. Perfect. All right, let's look at this side. So I already know that log is no good as compared to this log. This log was even in better shape, and it's no good. So let's see what we got. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at the difference in the brightness of this versus the darkness of this board. A little more heartwood, a little more sapwood, okay? Still got wormholes, still gorgeous. Still got wormholes, still gorgeous. So what we'll do is we'll cut this into 2 8-foot pieces. We'll take both of them up to the shop, we'll dry them, and we'll give them to my buddy John as a housewarming gift. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today on the Stoney Ridge Farm. I still have to work on these boards. I'm gonna trim off some of the edges that are rotten, but again, these would be good for taxidermy, for any kind of just home decor kind of projects. I wish I had a store in town that I could sell this stuff to folks that are working on projects like that. Would be really cool. Guys, thanks so much for joining me today on the Stoney Ridge Farm channel. This is Sawmill Sunday. If you like this kind of content, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll have links to other sawmill videos where we milled up some beautiful butternut walnut. That'll be a link at the end of this video. Thank you guys so much. Hit that like button. We'll see you next time on the Stoney Ridge. Woo! Come on down to the Stoney Ridge. Bring your wife and bring your kids. We're living life pure and sweet. That's the way it's supposed to be, Stoney Ridge. Hey there, folks. This is John. Oh gosh, that's a big one. Oh, you are way heavier. Why are you so heavy? What did I do? Oh! What did you do with the scraper? Too hot, brain's not working right. Heavier. Duh. Come on, buddy, get it together.